Yo, you know something that people really don't talk much about? It's the whole aspect of that you really don't see your parents as much as you do when you get older. And I feel like the reason for that is because one, you're probably working, you probably have your family, and on top of that, like you probably had to move out of state for your job. You know what I'm saying? So I know for me, hold on, guys. Let me fix my camera. It's like tracking. Okay, but I know for me is was because one it was because of my job, and then two when I got the opportunity to go back to my hometown, and I did for a year. I realized it was nothing like there for me in the aspect of for me to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I could have seen my parents, but they living their own lives, and I was just stuck over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing for my siblings. They have their own lives going in my hometown, which is Alabama, and I didn't have nothing. It's like even now, like when I go down there, I'm spending like mind you guys, it's Selma, Alabama, and I'm spending around like 2,000 I'm talking about for flight, and then got to find somewhere to stay and all that. So because don't get me wrong, my sister don't let me stay with them, but if I'm there for a long time, like sometimes I want my own space. You get what I'm saying? And yo, it just not, it's just, how can I say this? I love seeing them, but me staying for long bits, it's just not the move for me anymore. It's just not the move. But back to me seeing my parents, it's just like, yo, we are at a certain age now where we have to live our lives. We have to be selfish. If you're single right now and going back to your hometown, it's no growth there. Say it's nothing new, no kind of even restaurants or any of that. Like you have to like get out that box. And this is the sacrifice you have to make for yourself, for you to grow. You guys, I promise you, I realized that I probably see my parents once or twice a year. Like once or twice a year. And it's been this way since I want to say 2019, minus the year I came back to Alabama, which was from 2004, 2005. But other than that, you guys, I would say they're probably like twice, three times max a year. And and when I realized that, that's when I was like, okay, let me just go back home for a while. But you guys, once you go out and live, it's not the same no more. You're gonna realize like all those old habits you had, you know what I'm saying? You wanna go to the gym, you wanna do whatever it is, like you can't do that stuff there because they probably don't have a good gym. They probably have the food that you like. If you go to certain Walmarts and stuff, they carry certain things based on the demographic. So if you go to your hometown, they might not even have that certain foods that you got used to. You know what I'm saying? You might stop by and go get a smoothie at a local fresh juice bar. Like you don't want Smoothie King. But even that, like they might not even have Smoothie King. But what I'm trying to say is like, man, like you can try to bring them up, be like, nah, like I think it's time for y'all to move. Like y'all at that age now. I tried to tell y'all probably hear that bird. I tried to tell my parents, like, yo, like, y'all can retire. Like, why y'all just won't move? But y'all know how our parents are. They stuck in their ways. Excuse me. That was nasty. But they stuck in their ways. You know what I'm saying? And when they stuck in their ways, you can try to be like, nah, mom, nah, dad, like, I think y'all should move for real. They were like, nah, like we paid the house off. We found at an age where we can relax. And I'm like, yo, you can sell it and get like, you know what I'm saying? Like some up north. But they don't be with it. Cause I guess I get it too. Like they friends, family members, church, all that, everything they built up, they'll be leaving it. And they probably be thinking from a standpoint, okay, You here for the next 2 years or 3 years, but what if you leave? Then that means that we're gonna be out here by yourself, which is fair. That's a fair assessment right there. That's super fair. So I get it. I get it. But sometimes, man, you just be like, man, y'all just don't know. Like, I get it that you probably visit certain spots, but living, like, you know how people say it's a difference between a tourist and a purist. Virgil said it. A tourist is gonna be like, go to like all the tourist spots, all the spots where everybody talking about like Statue of Liberty, all that. But a purist is like, yo, if you go to New York, you're gonna go to Brooklyn. You're gonna go to like the real place where people live at, not no just tourist spots. So that's what I mean when I say tourist versus purist. So if you live somewhere, you're gonna find some of the pure spots. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find that hole in the wall Jamaican spot. You're gonna find that juice bar on your way to work. And you probably try a new coffee. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much to life that I learned. And it's just in states. I ain't talking about like going somewhere out the country, because honestly, you guys, I haven't really went out the country just yet, to the point where I can like say I went out the country. I was on a cruise to Mexico, but that's besides the point. But what I'm saying is like, yo, I know I haven't seen my parents as much, but when I do see them for holidays, I'd be super happy to see them. But it's like, man, after those 2 days, everybody go back to their normal habits. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to go back to themselves. They, like, okay, we'll visit. That's what they call me, Will. So they're probably like, oh, we'll visit. We probably spend Christmas Eve, Christmas day after Christmas, something like that. But like, let's say like 2 more days after Christmas, they're gonna be back in their own natural habitat, which is cool. But and they just leave me there by myself. Like, I ain't got, no friends really who's still down there to visit. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, Selma kind of dangerous. So it ain't like I'm trying to go out to the clubs that they might have. So all that do take place, you know what I'm saying, in my decision of like not really seeing my parents as much. But I can't lie though. When I go see them and I remember them this way, but then you start seeing them like walking kind of slow, or kind of like bent when walking because they back hurt, or whatever kind of pain, you like, yo, like, when did this happen? Why nobody told me this? And it can kind of catch you so off guard because you so used to your parents being one way, and it's just kind of like dang, like my parents getting older, and it hit you, and it hit you hard, and it hits you to the point where you just like yo, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I felt bad, you know what I'm saying? Where I was just like, yo, I gotta spend more time on seeing my parents. I just have to. But in the midst of that, I realized when I moved down and I started seeing them, I realized like, yo, yes, I'm watching them and like going, hanging around them more and talking to them way more. But it felt like I was losing part of me though. It felt like I was losing part of me in the sense of like, I wasn't growing no more. It wasn't nothing there. It's like if you playing a video game and you beat that level, you probably go back and then you probably collect like all the stuff. But if you collected everything, now you just roaming around. You have nothing you can really do. I just felt so stagnant being there, you guys. Like, I felt so stagnant, and I felt like my life wasn't priority. Like, I promise you that. And that's when I made a conscious decision after going therapy. Because when I was in Alabama also, by the way, I was trying to find myself as a sense of like, what do I want to do? What's my goals? Why I'm not feeling happy out here? And I started going to a therapist and we started talking. You guys, that was, oh my God, that was like one of the best. After my first session, it was a half a session. It was the best feeling ever to get all that off my chest. I promise you, best feeling ever. Highly recommend therapy for anybody that might be going through it. Anybody that might be going through it. But after going to therapy and I started finding myself and whatnot, that's when I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Like, as selfish as I want to be, what do I want to do? And that's when I was like, okay, I want to move to, and I promise you, I said that in June and I moved in October. Like, I didn't ask nobody what they thought, what their opinions were, like none of that. I made in my mind what I wanted to do and I did it. And that's how I knew I was ready for that next shift in my life. And you guys, it was nothing but a blessing coming up here. Nothing but a blessing. And yeah, sometimes you just gotta be selfish. You have to be selfish to the point where you would start feeling bad, but keep leaning into that. Just keep leaning to, keep putting yourself first, because in order for other people to like actually get worth out of you, you got to work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say like, how you gonna, if you rich and you help everybody out and you go broke, then all the water from the well it went dry. Now you can't feed nobody. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta put you first at all times, man. And that's what I learned. Like my therapist said, like, and she was referring to like my family. She was basically saying like, you grew up putting them as priority, and you create a relationship where everything they said was just about like golden to you. You were just like, okay, I would go with that. I listen to the authority or whatnot. But as you get older, it don't have to be like that. You can say no. You can think for yourself. You can just say like, yo, if it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. I will live with that and move on, because you don't want to sit in regret. Like, you don't want to be in a bunch of regret where you like, dang, I should have went. Why ain't listen to myself? You should like listen to yourself, go with it, and don't think twice. Don't even think twice about it. Just live with it. And if it don't work, it just didn't work. But at least you can say, man, I tried. I tried my best. I tried my hand at that. It didn't work. Whatever that is, whether you want to start a business, you got new goals, workouts, if you want to start cooking, dancing, whatever. Like when I say be selfish, I mean be selfish. Do not care what nobody else thinks about you, your goals, what you want to do. None of that. Because if you don't do it, if you don't try it, how would you know? How would you know? You know what I'm saying? It could be the most left field thing. If you want to wake up tomorrow morning and say you want to be an actress or actor, then go do it. Because years from now, you're gonna be like, dang, you're gonna probably see somebody on TV, might not be that good of an actor, or you probably think they ain't that good of an actor. You probably be like, man, I could have did that. I could have did that. And then you're gonna sit and regret. Don't never have no regret. That's one thing I live by. If I want to try something, I'm gonna do it. As far as like this vlogging, I'm gonna do it. Like, I ain't got the best editing skills. I don't try to do what everybody else doing. I run my mouth. I ramble a lot. But that's what made me feel comfortable. That's what made me want to pick up the camera. I'm not trying to be like nobody else. I'm trying to be like Willie and find my tribe who want to listen to it. That's all I'm saying. I want to find my tribe who want to listen to me. That's it. That's it. I don't want to do what you doing. Nothing like that. Yes, I can be inspired by you, but I don't want to do what you're doing because you already doing it. So let me be me. Let me do what I do. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. I can live with that. But what I can't live with, me picking up the camera, being like, oh, how this gonna work out? What should I do? I already know what I need to do. God is my source. He's talking to me, and this is what I'm doing. So I don't need to be something that I'm not. I don't. I do not need to be something that I'm not. So yeah, that's my whole rant for the day. I haven't did one of these in a minute, and I did want to talk to you guys. So man, if you don't do nothing else, make sure you like, subscribe, you know, help me out, tell a friend all about me. And yeah, we out. Peace.